Today is May 12th, 2020. It's been how many months? March? March. Almost 2 months of quarantine. So now I am transitioning into a different direction. After a few videos, I decided I was like, man, I have no structure or anything like that, but this is like getting easier to talk to a camera. And the idea is to keep building content. So as I'm continuing to do this, I am going to keep trying to learn as much as possible in terms of this. And I find it funny that it is still terrible. But this whole process is actually pretty fun. A lot of things I've been doing new. And look at my hair. Like, this is one of the new things that is going on. I've been having a little headband just to kind of put myself into that direction of sexiness. Kind of looks like my mom again, but with facial hair. Today is a really beautiful day. I love when the rain is like balancing each other out with the sun. So it's nice to have that little beautiful structure. This has been a very, very terrible week for me, but it's also been a very eye-opening week for me as well. I'm still enjoying it, but I really am excited to be back into that daily grind with everything that I've been kind of like trying to build comfort into. It's been nice to kind of step out of my comfort zone and try new things. Still stuff that I really want to keep pursuing, and I will continue to keep pursuing. It's just a little matter of structure and whatnot. Man, I look like shit. I should really probably shave soon, or at least do something about this because it's not pretty. Maybe I just need to get a fade. But supposedly this is the ugly phase, so I'm glad I'm not at work or in the public because it would be shamed into oblivion. Season 5 just started for Apex Legends. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to give you guys more content in terms of showing you that competitive side of me, because I know how competitive I can get. My goal, though, is to be more vocal, transitioning from introvert to extrovert. My whole stance in terms of being me and bringing out the side of me. Interesting stuff to kind of comprehend and learn more. I am going to definitely like say some stuff that I'm probably going to regret, but I will try my best to not lead or be terrible in any way possible. But ooh. Oopsie, sorry. Got a message. This has been like a journey. I feel like I just went on a spiritual journey as Jesus, and I can't believe I said that. That was surprising to say. Oops. Whatever though. I mean, not whatever. I mean, all in well, like positive stuff. Um, I lost my train of thought right there. Been trying to do a lot more of those new things, but the goal now is to kind of build a stronger habit of following through. I know how difficult it is to push through obstacles, and I think the one thing that I always encourage is the 2190 rule. 21 times to build a habit, 90 times to build a lifestyle. And the one thing that I got from that is that it's going to suck so freaking much. So I had this, one of the things that I did this quarantine time was I got into dart throwing. I'm going to tell you straight up, I have no idea how to throw, or I did not know how to throw a dart. One, still to this day, do not how to play darts. Two, like, I don't know. Like, I just started, and I just started throwing. But in between, like, my dartboard is in my garage. I turned my garage into a little mini gym, or at least a personal space for me to dance and to work out. What I got out of that was a chance to try something new in between my sets, and dart throwing was that thing. Why am I saying this? 2190. 21 times to build habit. So what I ended up doing was that I started playing my own, like, I created my own game. My goal, and I know this is something true, is that there's 3 darts that you get to throw. My goal was to throw 3 darts and hit all the numbers 3 times in a row. The goal was just to see if I could do it, and to just kind of try something new. I still was like, I don't know how to play darts, but I'm going to do it this way. My thought process at that time was to see how long it would take me to get there, and then the process of getting there actually ended up becoming like an eye-opening thing in terms of things in my life. And why am I telling you this? Is because if you're trying to try something new, you have to go almost 3 months into trying that new thing. Like, people try new things and they're expecting results right away, but they never get the results because they are afraid to keep pushing through. I remember it was like the second week I had transitioned the place into to not have my car in there. It was a distraction, so I started throwing darts. That first day, it went well. Like, I hit 20 within 20 minutes. Like, hit 23 times. And I was like, oh, I'm happy, I got this, yeah, I got this. Then I go for 19. 20 minutes go by, and this is in between my sets and whatnot. But what ended up happening on 18, after I hit that 19, it took me 20 minutes. On 18, what ended up happening was that I was on a drought. A drought. Like, so bad, like, you couldn't even understand this part. I'm embarrassed because the timing it took was 20 minutes for those first 2. What ended up happening was 2 weeks that went by, and I could never hit 18 3 times. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, like, and I'm not even kidding. Like, I work out 5 times a week, about 5 times a week, or I lift 5 times a week, and throwing that dart in between my sets was the worst 2 weeks of my fucking life. And I remember how I felt. Sorry. I remember how I felt. It was a lot of just throwing the dart around. I would throw the dart, and it would hit somewhere. And mind you, this would go all over the place. Do not tell my brother that there is a bunch of holes on the wall, because that's where I live. But I would throw that dart with the expectation of hitting that AT. It was the hardest thing I could ever aim for, but I wanted it. It's quarantine, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this between sets, and I'm trying to get some better at this little dart throwing thing, and I get to do this little 6 thing. That journey of 2 weeks was funny. For a long time, I was like throwing it, and it would just go all over the place. Like if I were to point it here, it would go here, 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 here. Now, here is what happened towards the end of the 2 weeks. The mindset started to change. Focus started to come because I was frustrated like motherfucker. And I remember thinking to myself, you are going to be stuck at this 18 for the rest of your life, and you'll never finish it. And then that's the side of me that says, like, I got to do this. I'm that person that has to accomplish this goal. Two weeks go by. I would slowly, or in the 2 weeks, that day I remember, I would throw the dart and try to concentrate as if every single shot was my last shot. It meant making that shot. It meant focusing on what I needed to get. It meant pure determination, confidence, to understand your throwing strength and to aim. That's the one thing that I learned from that whole experience. Once I conquered that part of it, it became absolutely easier to aim. When I hit that 18, it was the most miraculous moment of my life. And I am proud of that moment forever. And then I started to go down the line up to 17, 16, 15, 14, and so forth. And I'll show you my chart because it became something that, like, what I'm trying to say is, whatever it is you're trying to do, if you really want it, you do whatever it takes to do it. It's one of the most difficult things that I've learned is that, like, I used to talk too much about doing something, but I would actually, like, try to convince myself not to do it. And I think my purpose in life is to keep pursuing my dream and to hopefully influence you. I'm pointing at you. And darts is just a way of saying that. You do have to focus. I am a procrastinator, like, so bad. I try to work smart, but it just gets backfired. I do my best. But I know I can learn from each experience. If you're trying to do something, like if you're trying to be creative, if you're trying to be an influencer, if you are trying to lose some weight, if you're trying to hit a weight training goal, if you are working on your calligraphy or whatever it is you're working on, you have to just go out and just do it. Just do it. That's all I have for today. This is my dart thing, and I can't believe I'm talking about it. But I'm going to post that video now.